Welcome to the Vobes Show and again to the Beach Hut. Today we have somebody very special we're going to go and talk to. His name is Nick Tann and he's the music man. And he's sitting over here. So, Nick Tann, music man.
Mr. Vobes.
Welcome to the Beach Hut.
Well, it's very nice to be here.
And I can see you've got your musical instrument with you.
I have. I don't get anywhere without it.
Fantastic. Now, you're a musician, you're in Southampton, you go and you gig a lot, you have a podcast.
I do indeed.
What's it called?
It's called Is This Thing On?
Is This Thing On?
Yep.
And it's available online.
It is.
And you promote not only yourself, obviously, but local bands and across the world.
Indeed, local bands from Iceland to Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is a new one, Japan, Italy, America, Germany, all over the place.
Fantastic. You've got a guitar,
I have.
you write your own music.
I do.
You're a singer as well. What kind of songs do you do?
I kind of do songs that I like. I know
Well,
it sounds a little
that's
bit. I know it's a little bit of a trite thing to say, but I like kind of funky sort of music. I like rocky sort of music.
Yeah.
I like all kinds of different music. So I basically write songs that I would like to listen to. So it's kind of like they're influenced by all my other influences.
I was going to say, who you're influenced by?
I'd say mainly Elvis Costello,
Right.
Prince,
Oh, okay.
early Jackson 5,
Wow.
Stevie Wonder, so all of those things. So there are lots of elements of those things in my songs, but you might not necessarily notice that, oh, that sounds a little bit like Stevie Wonder or that sounds a little bit like Prince. They don't, but there are certain kind of things in my head that I'm thinking about when I write these songs.
When you write lyrics, difficult, I would imagine, to try and put words to music. Where does your inspiration for your lyrics come from?
To be honest with you, I'm not too sure. I normally write, I'm writing a song at the moment.
Right.
And so I'll start off with... So that's where I'd start. I'd start with the chords. That's the way I write.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, as I start to form the chords into a bit more of a cohesive state, they're kind of all at random, and then I work out, right, that's going to be the verse, now I'm going to need a chorus, and so I'll get that together, and then I'll just repeat them, and I'll just see what comes into my head. Normally a phrase will come into my head, and I'll repeat that phrase over and over again. All on my own, a long drive home is all I get. A tight-lipped smile, but all the while I know the truth. The teary eye, the long goodbye, I yearn to stay. The whispered word you never heard, not now, not then. How do you sleep? How do you sleep at night? Don't you know that I'm the one that loves you? How do you sleep? Makes me weep at the thought you were watching while my heart breaks.
Right, so you're not taking an event in real life or something that's happened to you or anything like that is your sort of starting point. It starts with the music first.
Always starts with music first for me.
How long does it take you to write an average track? Well, each one, I know, must be crafty, obviously.
Yeah, I spend days locked in cellars.
With nobody coming through the door.
At the moment, I've got 5 songs that took me probably about an hour all told to write.
Right.
But I've only got words for one verse of one of those songs. So it's the words that take me a long time to do.
When you've written an album do you still do albums or is it just single tracks?
It tends to be, I get single tracks, and when I get enough of them, but what they're called now is EPs, which we used to have ages and ages ago. But EP, so it's like a 5-track album.
Oh, okay. And how do you promote that? Is that principally online these days?
Well, if I'm selling online, then it will be online.
Yeah.
So it'll be Twitter, Facebook, blogs,
So
other people's
Twitter
blogs.
and Facebook and all these sort of things are incredibly important now to a musician.
If you're selling online,
Right.
only if you're selling things online. If you're playing locally,
Yes.
almost not even bother with it, because especially with things like face group.
I must sign up to
Facebook groups.
Yes.
And you can do a Facebook event, and so you invite people to your Facebook event, and you can invite 300 people. Sorry, 300 people, and it's easy for people to go, yeah, I'm coming, yeah, I'm coming, yeah, I'm coming.
And they don't.
They don't. So
No.
it's unrealistic. So if you want to get people to come to something locally in what's called the real world, you have to get out in the real world and on the streets and say, come along. So which is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to be in Winchester tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be busking for 2 hours.
Wow.
Not to make any money,
No.
but to promote the fact that I'm playing a gig on Wednesday in Winchester.
Right. Oh,
so that's
okay.
the way to do it that way. You can't do it online, it doesn't work.
But saying about online, before you came to the wonderful Beach Hut here today,
Magnificent.
you were performing online.
I was.
But in a venue somewhere.
No, I was actually, I was actually in my in-laws'
Oh, right.
lounge.
Oh, okay. So from the in-laws to a beach hut, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
is, yeah. From a barn in Arundel.
Oh, right.
Converted barn in
You like
Arundel.
roughing it then,
I
don't
do.
you?
Well, actually, it's not a very rough. It's a very lovely barn.
Oh, is it a very nice convertible
It's a very nice
barn?
convertible
Oh,
barn.
Marv.
I did a festival for a friend of mine called Matt Stevens, who I think you may have heard of. I've mentioned him a few,
Yes, he's
quite
been
a
on
few
the
times.
podcast, yeah.
And he's organised a festival which is going on at the moment, and there have been people all over the world that have been streaming a gig from their house onto the web using Ustream, which is a streaming service.
Right.
I wasn't too sure where I was going to be because I was at home, but there were things happening then, and I was either going to do it at home in Southampton or I was going to do it in Arundel.
Right.
So it's touch and go.
Is this to promote your music online? Is that what it's for? Why do it as presumably as a webcam thing?
Yeah, it was a webcam and with the microphones and stuff as well, obviously. But actually, I did it just because Matt asked me to.
Oh.
And it didn't cost me anything.
Yes.
And there
Excuse
were-
me, would you just come online and do some of your music?
And 38 people watched it. So I did a gig in the comfort of my, quite rich comfort of my
Yes.
my sister-in-law's barn. And 38 people watched it, and I just sat there and I spoke to them, and there's a little chat room where people were chatting backwards and forwards and talking to me just through the chat room, and I could talk directly to them. And I did that for an hour, and then it went on to somebody else. I'm the one who loves you. How do you sleep? Makes me weep. Weep with the thought of you, watching while my heart breaks. It comes to this, the painful kiss, the best I get. And then it goes to somebody else, and then it rolls.
So, I see.
on.
So there's a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
people, and is that? Do you think that's the way it's going to go? That more people are going to be using all sorts of different technology?
I think anything that comes along, people will find an angle for it.
But for you as a performer, in front of an audience, a live audience, is that your preferred medium?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You've brought with you a different instrument, something a little bit unusual, ladies and gentlemen. Could you show us what it is?
Of course.
Just show it on the floor.
yeah, just throw
I'm
that
sure
thing
Eric
there.
will grab hold of it.
He'll clean it for
Yeah.
us.
Now, hang
yeah.
on a minute. Now, wait a minute. That's a very silly looking thing.
Yes, it's a guitar made out of
A cigar box.
cigar box. Yeah.
Now, you smoked all the cigars first.
Well, I would have done. Yeah.
Does that give you the husky voice to go along with it?
It does. It did initially, which I gave up.
So, just to explain, you've got a cigar box with 3 strings, and
3 strings.
you've got its own neck. And
So the neck, it's just a piece of
good God.
tuba 1, I think it's called in the trade.
So it must be really cheap to make.
I believe so.
You didn't make it?
I didn't make it. It was in my friend Jim's guitar shop in Hampton, and I used to go in there. I still do go in there, and I kept looking at it. He said, "Oh, try it out," and
Give us a tune.
okay. Now you can't play this with a... Doesn't sound that great. It's not a conventional, it's only got 3.
Right.
So I'll play with a bottleneck.
Right, of course you do.
Which gives it a little bit more of a...
It sounds very American. It's got that sort of South American twang to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
It goes back to like there's a type of guitar called a dobro or a resonator they call them now.
Oh, okay.
And they work on a different kind of resonation, whereas a guitar like that's got a hole.
Yes.
And a sound box.
Right.
So the sound goes into that hole and bounces back again.
Okay.
And bounces out of the hole.
Very clever.
Yeah.
I wish I could bounce out of a hole.
This one kind of does that, but
because it's got no hole, has it?
It's got no hole, so you've just got
the box itself.
Now I have thought about drilling some holes in it,
right?
But I daren't yet. So
No.
but I may do. But you can get an idea of. Whoops, this is working well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The tape's failing
Bit
me.
of gaffer tape. Oh, I see. Yeah. If people want to know more about you, Nick, because we're on limited time here on the Beach Hut at Vobes Show, where can they find you?
nicktann.co.uk.
nicktann.co.uk. Nick, it's been a joy. Thanks for coming to the Beach Hut.
A pleasure.
You can go and have a nice swim now.
I will.
The sun is shining.
It's always shining in winter.
It's always shining. So, ladies and gentlemen, tune in again for more antics and fun and chaos from the Vobes at www.vobes.com. Cheers, Nick.
Thanks very much.